Honestly, I'm gonna try to make this video a little quick, but I had an idea when I was in the shower and I just felt like I wanted to speak about it. But basically, don't let your life be run, let your life be unbounded by the canon, basically, as the title says. And I know people are gonna be like, what the fuck does that mean, Ken? So, what I mean when I say that is basically don't try to be like everybody else. And I know it's just like kind of a vague way to put it, but I mean, stop trying to follow the rules of what everybody put on you. A lot of people live their lives in accordance of what they believe, what they feel like should have to go. And ultimately, if you really think about it, everybody kind of lives their lives in what works for them. The same way that you may live your life the way it works for you. So my message for you tonight is to stop living your life bounded by the canon, as I say, because I got inspired by Spider-Man. You know, like if you watch Spider-Man and you the new one, and it talks about Miguel, how he's like always so obsessed with like the canon. It needs to be this way, it needs to be this way. I highly encourage you to like stop living your life like that. Stop living your life in a one-way mindset. Stop living like it has to be this way, because life, and you probably heard this before, but life is a placebo. It's a placebo. Anything can happen. You could win $1 million tomorrow. You could die tomorrow. You could get sick tomorrow. There are so many things that can happen tomorrow. And I'm not trying to like put any fear in anybody's heart, but I feel like what I'm trying to say is just, I want to encourage people to recognize and understand that life is so vast and so big and different. Today, or like no, a couple of days ago, I was talking with my coworker, and she was basically just telling me like basically like her plans of like what she was gonna do at the job. Because at my job, she was telling me that my general managers, like my area manager, she wanted to go to corporate, and then general manager, she wanted to go to be the area manager, and then she wanted to be the general manager, and then like the shift leader wanted to be the manager or the assistant. Like it was just a whole ladder of like this and this, and she was like, and then she was looking at me kind of like with an expectation look in her eyes, like almost like I almost wanted to be a part of it in a sense, if you get what I'm saying. And I was thinking, and I was like, when she was like explaining this stuff to me and like basically explaining like what she was gonna do, low key in my head, I just immediately like declared to myself, I was like, I don't want to live like that. I don't want to live my life bounded to rules and like having to move up on the ladder. I don't want to live my life in a linear way, if that makes sense. Which is ironic, because life is not even linear. You know, like life is so complex, so big, just ultimately so complicated that there is no real true way to live it. There's no real truth in life. You just live it the way it works for you. I feel like I definitely came to that realization today, especially when I was reading this like fic I made, and I was like, I was talking with my friends, and I was like, it just feels so freeing to be able to write a fanfic and not have that little critic in my head constantly asking me, does this make sense? Does this even go with the story? Would the characters even act like this in this story? And it's like, man, when I wrote the fic, when I just wrote that scene out, not even like writing the whole story, just the scene of what I want to see, I genuinely felt so free. And it's crazy how such like a small action can like really help someone. But the reason I wrote that fic was not only because I feel like I need to get freedom, it's also kind of like, what's the word I'm looking for here? It's also an example of what I'm trying to say for how you need to live life in general. Stop letting that inner critic guide you of like, this is how life's supposed to be. This is how it's supposed to go. This is how you need to do this. This is how you need to do this. Life is so different and so vast and so fucking complicated for so many fucking people. There will never be a one linear way to live your life. If you want to live your life just moving up on the corporate ladder, live your life like that. If you want to live your life just free and going to country to country, live your life like that. If you want to live your life working 3 to 7 jobs, live your life like that. Like, there is literally no particular way to technically live life, and that's why I say you have to live life unbounded by the canon. Stop living life through the traditional views of what people tell you, because people will tell you, oh, you need to do this because this is work, or you need to do this because this is work, or you need to do this. Baby, no way will work unless you believe it work. You know, I was talking to my grandma a couple months back when I was living with her, and I remember, like, she always kept telling me, like, you need to go to school, you need to do this, you need to do this so you can get a good education, get a good job, and, you know, don't even worry about your life job, just get a good education so you can get a good job, make good money, and live the life you want. And on some semblance, I feel like I agree with her, definitely about getting a good education, because I believe education is important. It is the foundation of what will make and break you, at least in my personal opinion. I believe that when you have education, and not just, and when I say education, I don't want people to think learning about math and science and nursing. I mean education through anything on a wider scale. Education about yourself, you as a person, education about your mind, education about other people. Like, when you learn about yourself and about the things you want to do in life, I think it brings a calming sense of, what's the word I'm looking for here? What is the word I'm looking for here, people? I feel like it brings a new realization, a new awareness in your life of, like, I don't have to live my life the way people tell me. And it's crazy because it's like you'll hear it all the time in life. Like, don't live your life like this, you know, but I don't feel like it really clicks until you really start asking that question of, like, man, what do I even really want to do, you know? And I've said it before, but, you know, every year you're gonna want to change. The things that you want to do when you were maybe 15, 14, 13 are not going to be the same things you want to do when you're 17, 18. The things that you want to do when you're 17, 18 are not going to be the same things you want to do at 24, 25, 26, and so on, you know? But I think it's important to come to that realization that there really is, like I said, no linear way to live life. There is no objective way to live life. Stop living how people tell you to live. Stop living mechanically, like I say. Live life as if you never lived it before. And I know that's kind of cliche and kind of like confusing, because, like, what the fuck does that even mean? But generally, I feel like the best way I can put it in words is live life as if you're a child. Live life as if everything and everyone is new to you. Like, you've never seen these fucking people before. And I don't know, sometimes it can definitely be hard, but I think sometimes even just a tiny perspective shift in the things you already do, you know, can change and help with that. I remember a couple weeks ago, I was talking to my mom, and I was telling her how sometimes it was really hard for me to accept when you would tell me, like, thank you for some stuff. Like, anytime she used to say thank you, I used to feel like a really big sense of, like, uncomfortability within me, because it was just weird. And I told her, like, and she was like, really, you felt that way? And I was like, yes. And I was like, it wasn't even weird when you said it. I think it was more so weird because it's like, in my head, it's like, that's something I'm supposed to do. You know, she would be like, I'll take out trash. She'd be like, thank you, Kenyatta. And I was just like, okay. And just walk away, you know, because I didn't, like, in my head, that's something I'm supposed to do. Like, why are you telling me thank you? And honestly, it got to the point where I just felt really uncomfortable with it. Like, I'll walk away before she even gets to say thank you, because I didn't want to hear it, because it's like, that's something I'm supposed to do, you know? In my head, in my perspective, it felt patronizing for some reason, which is so weird, because someone telling you thank you should never feel patronizing, but that's how I felt. And I remember, like, talking to her and just saying it, like, hearing myself say this out loud. I was like, I think I felt that way because I never took the time to recognize my own accomplishments of what I did, regardless of whether it was small, regardless of whether it was big or not, regardless of the impact it had on me, small or big or whatever, you know. I never took the time to just recognize and thank myself for it, no matter what I did, whether it was just something simple as taking a shower, or something as simple as making myself dinner for the night. You know, I never took the time to say thank you, Kenyatta. Thank you, Kenyatta, for feeding me. Thank you, Ken, for opening my mind and reading a book. Thank you, Ken. You know, I never took the time to just thank my presence, thank me, myself, for doing the things that I did for me, you know? So when I never did it for myself, of course it felt uncomfortable when you got other people doing it, especially for, like, the little things, you know? And my mama always stressed to me, like, little things in life really do matter, you know? So, I don't know, it's it was really interesting, like talking to myself about it and like talking to her and just hearing myself say it out loud of like how I thought. And it's like when I came to that realization, I was just like struck. I was just like shocked because I was like, I can't believe like that's how I felt. You know, I knew it deep down, but I didn't really know, you know. And now I try to make it a point every day to thank myself for the things that I do, no matter how small. You know, if I wake up in the morning and I decide to stretch, I thank myself in my head. You know, I don't always say it out loud, but I mostly just say thank you for nourishing my body, stretching it out, getting the trauma out that needs to go. You know, thank you for deciding to read a book or listen to music. Thank you for giving your body. Thank you for giving our body rest and just understanding that we are human and that we need sometimes to be appreciated. You know, sometimes I forget. Sometimes it's crazy because I appreciate a lot of things that people do for me, but I don't even take the time to appreciate myself for things I do for myself, because in my head it has this like it's supposed to do. You're supposed to do it, which you are, but just, you know, like I always say, two things can be true at once. You can appreciate yourself, and guess what? You can also still supposed to do it. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I just felt like people need to hear that. Like, stop living your life bounded by canon. Whatever you want to do for yourself, really try to make that happen for yourself. And I don't know like what people want to do. You know, maybe somebody want to go to the fucking moon. Maybe somebody want to beat Elon Musk up. I don't know. Personally, me, I would. But I'm just saying, like, for real, on a real note, like, whatever you want to do, don't allow other people's beliefs and ideas to get caught up in what you want to do, because at the end of the day, they're doing the things that work for them. If somebody had to work 3 jobs to get successful, guess what? That's their life. That's their reality. That's what they have to do for themselves. That's not what you have to do for yourself. There are people out there who don't do shit and still getting paid damn near $500 every hour. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not everybody's reality. That's not everybody's truth. That's not everybody's mindset or the way, y'all said it right, their reality. That's not everybody's life, you know. So it's important to be able to like really, you know, talk to yourself and really ask yourself, like, what do I want to do for this period in my life? And sometimes I always question myself, because some of the things that I thought I wanted to do, even like early in the months on, the things I thought I wanted to do, I didn't even truly really want to do it for real. I just thought I wanted to do it because someone put a little whisper in my ear and said that's what I need to do, or that's something I should do, you know. So yeah, that's just my little talk for today. Just don't allow yourself to be bounded by the canon, and just allow yourself to breathe and learn to appreciate yourself, because baby, you deserve it. You deserve to get appreciated. If you can appreciate other people for what they do to you, why can't you extend that same love and kindness to yourself? You know what I mean? So yeah, just live your life unbounded by the canon, because the canon really technically doesn't even fucking exist. Everyone has their own rules and realities of what they kind of made it to be anyway. So yeah, just just live your life the way you want to live it, and stop being so harsh. Stop letting your inner critic shit on you for no reason. And I think that's just my little pep talk for tonight. But yeah, I hope you liked the video. Thank you for sitting throughout the video and watching it. And yeah, I can't wait to hear you guys' opinions and all that. So good night.